Hey guys, it's Tim here for my next video in the setup series. We covered ride height first, and we are moving on to toe. This is going to be a really fast video. Toe's a very simple adjustment. It's a very fine tuning adjustment. It doesn't make huge impacts to your car, but it can definitely help if you're looking for more steering in the infield or more stability on the straightaway, anything like that. So let's dive into it. Toe is the angle of the front and rear wheels relative to the car's center line when viewed from above the car. So all of these cars have a different front toe adjustment. This guy's neutral, this guy's toed out, this guy's toed in. When they're facing each other, toe in. When they're facing out from each other, toe out. Pretty straightforward. We're going to talk about front toe on this slide. If your toe is completely neutral or 0 degrees to toe, you'll have neutral handling characteristics, a higher top speed, and uniform tire wear. If you toe out, which is the most common you'll see in RC racing, you're going to get an increased steering response and you'll have a more agile feeling car in the infield. Toe really helps with that initial turn in feeling. So if you feel like not much is happening when you first get on the wheel to steer the car, a little bit more toe out can help. You're going to compromise a little bit of straight line stability and top speed. These tires are no longer going straight, so they're getting additional friction, additional scrub is what we call it, and you're going to lose just a little bit of top speed. And because this will help you turn in faster, some people don't like it very much on straightaways where they want to be more stable. You will get increased tire wear on the inside of your front tires here. They're going down the track first. They're going to get warm and they're going to wear out faster than the rest of the tire. Toe in, just the opposite. It increases stability on straightaways and turn in. So if you feel like you put a small input into the wheel and your car just absolutely dives, you could take some toe out of the car and it'll increase your stability and turn in. You compromise a little bit of steering response and you will get increased tire wear on the outside of the front tires. I will say right now, I've never ran toe in on an RC car and I don't recommend it. There are many different adjustments we can make that are better than toe in to get a more stable car. So I very rarely recommend setting up a car with toe in. 99.9% of the time, you're going to see toe out. So just something to keep in mind. If you have a all-wheel drive or a car with adjustable rear hubs, you can set rear toe, um, neutral or no toe, same thing, neutral handling, higher top speed, uniform tire wear. Toe in, this is what you're going to see the most common in setup, rear toe in. It increases stability on acceleration, especially through in and out of turns. So it's going to really settle down the rear end of the car, especially on hard acceleration. You're going to compromise straight line speed and a little bit of agility, and you will get increased tire wear on the inside of the rear tires. Rear toe out, you will almost never see. I've never used it or seen it. It's going to give you an incredibly darty car with unpredictable handling. And then you compromise your straightaway speed, your stability, and you're going to get increased tire wear on the outside of the tire. Uh, you'll never see toe out in the rear, kind of like we never see toe in on the front. 99% of the cars you see are going to be towed out up front and towed in the rear. How do we adjust toe? So on all pan cars, 128th, 12th, 10th, most buggies, it's all adjusted the same way. We have these front turnbuckles, and we adjust toe by shortening or lengthening these turnbuckles. They're threaded on both sides, so you turn it one way, and it's either going to shorten or lengthen this whole assembly, causing a toe adjustment. So if we make it longer, it's going to push out on this knuckle, making the front of the car or the front of the tire point in toward the center of the car. If we shorten it, it's going to pull this knuckle in, pushing the front of the tire out, providing toe out. So you're going to adjust your toe by adjusting the length of these turnbuckles. Very simple to do. How we measure toe. Measuring toe at the length of the turnbuckles is the most common way. So when you build a car, in your instruction booklet, it's going to tell you how to build the turnbuckle and tell you how long to make it. So after you're done building your turnbuckles, set them to the correct length per your instructions. Make sure they're identical. Put them back on the car. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Setup stations can be used to measure toe pretty accurately, but they are pretty expensive. Reflex has one. There's a couple 128 setup stations out there. Toe gauges and setup boards with hash marks can be bought and used to measure toe. But to be honest, guys, most of us just eyeball it. Toe can be set visually and with a pretty good accuracy. You can set one side of the car with a little bit of toe out, measure it, and then you take off the other one, make them identical to where you have symmetry, and put the other one on. If you make an adjustment for a little bit more, just make sure you remeasure, make sure you make the other side match. It's important to keep your toe links symmetrical. If you don't like that answer, my engineers and overthinkers, this is the process for kind of mathematically measuring your toe. You're going to measure the distance between the front and the rear of the tires you're looking at. And you're going to take the difference, divide it by the tire diameter, and you're going to take the arc tangent of that ratio. So here's a little equation example for you. On this car, we have the front toed out. I made these up entirely. This isn't what my car looks like. I just said there was 42 millimeters between the front, 40 millimeters between the rear. So we take the difference, so that's 2. 2 divided by 22.6. I always true my fronts to 22.6. You do a 2 divided by 22.6, we get our 0.088. We take the arc tangent of 0.088, and you get around 5 degrees. So this tiny car would have 5 degrees of toe out. For my Kyosho Mini Z guys, you're in luck. They just make a part that you drop in, and it does toe for you. No calipers or TI-89 calculators from college. This is a PN Racing steering bar. It's got 1 degree of toe out built in. You take out the old steering bar, you put this one, you're running 1 degree of toe out. Easy peasy, you just replace the part. Starting points and recommendations, as I said earlier, go with your manufacturer recommendations to begin with. From there, you can add a little bit of toe out or add a little toe in. Measure your adjustment, make sure the other side matches, and you go from there. Really small adjustments on toe, guys. Toe is between 1 and 3 degrees. You never want to go much more than that. You're going to start losing top speed on the straightaway, and you're going to start burning up your tires pretty quickly with excessive tire wear from that scrubbing. So really small adjustments. This is a fine-tuning thing for a little bit more turn in or a little bit more stability. It's not too complicated. Set your ride height first if you're looking to do this with any accuracy. Ride height does change toe. Toe does not change ride height, so it just makes sense to do your ride height first and then set your toe. Note at the end, toe in, very rare in the front, toe out in the rear, very rare. I recommend doing toe in the rear, toe out up front. There are other adjustments we can use before we start putting toe in the setup. You can put exponential in your remote. You can play with different tire compounds, different spring rates. backing out your side springs a little bit. There are a ton of ways to numb your car before going to tow in. I'll talk about those in future videos. But as per now, I would just avoid tow in. It's not a recommended setting. All right, that's tow. Super simple topic. This is the second video. The first one was ride height. We'll see you guys soon. We'll talk about camper.